it's Jessii V. So today we're going to be talking about some really creepy sleep paralysis stories. I actually got the idea to do this video when I was watching this documentary on Netflix about sleep paralysis, and I honestly feel really bad for people who have to go through this. It's super scary to even hear about, to be honest. But I did some research and I came across some really creepy stories that real people sent in about experiences that they have had during sleep paralysis. And I know that not everybody knows what this is, so I found the real definition online. I'm gonna read it to you. It says, sleep paralysis is a phenomenon in which an individual, either during falling asleep or awaking, briefly experiences an inability to move, speak, or react. So to kind of sum it up for you, I've heard it explained as dreaming while you're awake and you cannot move. So imagine having a nightmare that you feel is so real and you literally cannot move a muscle in your body. I mean, that sounds absolutely terrifying. Someone else online is explaining it as, it feels like you woke up dead. You know that your mind is awake and your body is not, so you're trapped. So you're kind of having these hallucinations in the state between sleeping and waking up. So you could literally see your worst fear in your bedroom and you cannot move. I know my sister and my boyfriend have both experienced this before, so I'm going to tell you those stories in just a second. I wanted to first say that this video is sponsored by Pack-A-Pets, and I know for the last few months I've been talking about Pack-A-Pets a lot. It's a really awesome game. I've been recommending it to you guys, and the reason I'm bringing it up again is because Pack-A-Pets is now coming out with Pack-A-Pets Village. So I know tons of you have been playing Pack-A-Pets. You've been raising your virtual pets, you've been feeding them, decorating your room, playing games with them, exploring with them, and now with Pack-A-Pets Village you can literally customize your own village for all of your Pack-A-Pets to live in. You can plant trees, flowers, houses, you can put in walkways, literally anything you can think of, you can customize your own village. And the more Pack-A-Pets that you have living there, the more you level up. And it's pretty cool because as you level up, you're able to add different things to your village. It honestly looks super fun, and it's coming out November 10th. So I'm telling you guys ahead of time to get you excited, to get you ready. So I will put a link to the game down below so you guys can download it. It's available for iOS and Android. So get ready for Pack-A-Pets Village. It's gonna be awesome. So I'm briefly gonna mention the sleep paralysis stories from my sister and my boyfriend just before I get into other people's stories. And I think what messes me up about sleep paralysis is that it could happen to anybody. Like, maybe it hasn't happened to you, but it could, you know what I mean? Like, that thought alone is just really scary. But I remember my boyfriend telling me a few years ago that he had this really bad episode of sleep paralysis where he was lying in his bed and he thought he woke up in the middle of the night. He was feeling thirsty, so he wanted to go get water, and that's when he realized that his body would not move. Like, he was aware of the room around him and he could not get out of bed, like his body would just not move. And then from the bottom of the bed, these really creepy zombie looking creatures rose from the bottom of his bed. They kind of looked like the nurses from Silent Hill. They were dressed in those creepy nurse outfits. They had no face. They were these really skinny people, and they started crawling on top of his bed towards him, and he could not move. He could not, like, shoo them away or run. So he watched them get this close to his face, and then finally he was able to snap out of it. But like, when he told me that story, I was just so freaked out by it. And then my sister, this happened actually not too long ago, I think a few months ago. She was sleeping in her bed and she woke up, could not move, just like my boyfriend. And at the very corner of her room, she saw this man sitting in a chair with a top hat, like dressed really formally for some reason, just sitting there on a chair in her bedroom watching her sleep. She couldn't do anything about it. She couldn't call for help. And then suddenly she was able to move again, and she called my mom and I into her room and told us all about it. And we were like, Mandy, what the heck are you talking about? And then she couldn't sleep in her room for like 3 days after that. But anyways, I'm gonna get into some of the creepy stories that I found online from people. I've had 3 sleep paralysis events in my life. I saw a cat-sized shadow creature at the base of my bed, and it slowly crawled up onto my sheets and finally up to my chest. I felt uncomfortable. Another time I saw a shadow man walking around my room, disappearing behind my door. This was the scariest one I've had so far. This one was the best. I saw a couple of surreal looking penguins walking around my bedroom. It was amusing and funny. So the last one's not that scary, but I find that a lot of people have creatures climb onto to their bed. Like, that's what I've read a lot for some reason. For a number of months, I would wake in the middle of the night and know there was someone lying right behind me in my bed, although I lived alone. They were so close I could feel them breathing on me, but I could not turn around or speak as I was paralyzed with fear. Eventually, I would wake up and realize that there was nobody there, but the inability to move or speak was frightening. I can't even imagine not being able to move. That must be the scariest feeling in the world. Like, your mind is awake, your mind knows what's going on, but your body just won't respond. The night after I had my second daughter, I had what people could describe as an out-of-body experience. I was lying in bed one minute, and the next I was on the ceiling with my face against it. That is super weird and creepy. In the early hours of the morning, I woke to see a woman floating down towards me from the corner of the ceiling. I was totally aware of the room and how I was lying on my back facing slightly towards my right side. I could see my friend and make out the shadows of the room and this woman coming straight towards me in a menacing way, but I could not move. I remember wanting to jump up and scream. I was petrified. I was calling out my friend's name, but she did not seem to hear me at first. Ugh, these stories are so spooky, and once again, I'm in my basement, home alone. It's great. My most recent experience was one of the most horrific sleep paralysis stories. I saw a demon standing in one corner of my room. It was speaking some sort of language that I couldn't quite make out. Other times, I see things walking towards me at lightning fast speeds, but still very slow, with their legs usually don't match their movements. It is usually a demon or someone I know who seems possessed. That's probably the scariest one to me. I don't know. Ugh, I'm getting all these weird chills. Usually the shadowy figure of a man just stands in my room and stares at me, somehow moving closer. However, the other night I opened my eyes to see him facing away, sitting on my swiveling computer chair. At first I thought I was awake and that the shadow was just my chair, until the chair slowly began rotating to face me. I could not move or yell, and sure enough, the man was sitting on it completely still, looking directly at me. That actually kind of sounds like my sister's story. But do you guys notice that every single story has them coming towards them? Like, whatever the creature is, they're getting closer and closer some way, whether that's on the bed or somewhere else in the room. That is, ooh, so creepy. Okay, we're gonna read one more because I'm pretty sure you guys get the gist of what I'm talking about. I woke up to the feeling of something sitting right next to me on the side of my bed. I thought it was my cat, so I opened my eyes to shoo him away, but nothing was there. The sunken in, weighted feeling didn't go away. I tried to go back to sleep, and that's when I saw something come into the room. It was a person made of black fire, like a shadow person, but it moved like fire. I mean, these stories are absolutely crazy. I can't even imagine being the person in that situation. But yeah, I'm pretty sure after hearing all of these stories, you guys do get what sleep paralysis is kind of about. I really hope that none of you ever have to go through that. And if you have before, my goodness, I can't even imagine what it was like. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. By the way, next week and the week after that, so basically up until November 16th, I'm on tour. So it's really, really hard for me to pre-film tons of videos to put up on my channel for those 2 weeks. So I have 2 videos a week planned, which I know is a lot less than I usually post, but I'm also going to be posting 2 videos on my vlog channel each week. So that's 4 videos in total. It's just that 2 are on my main channel and 2 are on my vlog channel. It's just that vlogs are much easier to edit and get up. So if you're wondering why I'm not posting as much on my main channel for the next 2 weeks, it's because I'm super busy, I'm on tour, but definitely follow my vlogs channel because I will have tons of tour footage on there. You'll be able to see all my crazy adventures as I travel around Ontario and Quebec. So yeah, I hope you guys have an awesome, awesome day, and until next time, bye!
Get down to the B-side.